G-Met, welcome everybody to the show. Shit. We got Ace in the chat today. What's going on, man? On stream, what's going on? How you doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm good. Happy Mother's Day to everybody who's in the stream. Happy Mother's Day to you two guys.
Happy Mother's Day, ladies.
Yeah.
Crime, crime. Are you dying, bro? What is going on, man? You got the cooties or something in Miami. Look at that.
Yeah, guys,
Oh, boy.
I'm sorry. I'm taking this one from the bed. I didn't end up going to that nightclub in Miami, but something happened and I caught something and it's ravaging my body and my throat, so I can I can barely talk over here, but I met up with Ace and we'd planned for him to come on, so I just wanted to be here in spirit and welcome my friend onto the show. Be here
Damn,
for
man.
as long as I could.
Damn, dude. You're freaking gangster, dude. Like Six still got the vest on.
You know it. You know it.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah. Look at this, guys. So best wishes. Shout out to Crime, dude. Guys, don't and brother, anytime you need to bail. But absolutely dedication. Then guy shows up from his deathbed.
You know it, Adam.
Yeah, man. We're hardcore up here. Yes, happy Mother's Day. And we got the Island Man here. Ace from Islanddao got on my cool Soul Flare Island swag, dude. That was a beach party. Miami Accelerate was really cool, dude. And you already knew Crime from before. I got to meet you for the first time, and we actually saw each other multiple times. I went to the Sagadao house in Miami, and it was a literal house. That was kind of like a party that I don't think a lot of the ladies were feeling too much. It was kind of wild, but they were doing some DJing shit in there. That was wild. I tell you what. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say they were pretty much all about ripping packs.
Yeah, they were ripping packs and doing streams. And I mean, I had some tequila, but it was a good show, good party, I guess. Like I said, I don't think all the ladies were digging it, but I tell you, Super Team put on an amazing party. Like, of course, Soul Flare was there. They showed up, and I was really impressed with how Soul Flare was just. They were there everywhere, dude. Like, they had the biggest booth, at Accelerate. They were at the parties. I mean, this was hosted by Super Team, which Super Team USA, they're brand new, and they're based in Miami, but they really showed up, and this was a killer party. And me and Crime, we actually onboarded a guy from Marinade Finance, a guy named KC.
Yeah, Amy did a great job. The whole team did a great job setting this event up. It just worked. Like, the vibe was really good, and they just set it up perfectly. It wasn't like too crowded. Good venue size, I thought.
Oh yeah, dude, and they were grilling up fresh meat, which
very good.
Yeah, very good. Of course, we I gotta send you this picture, man. But you can see a little bit there, like it was the Mario Kart theme. They had all the cool stuff going on. But yeah, we got the party with the Island Man. Same shirt, right?
Yeah, nice shirt, buddy. Soul Flare did us good.
Yeah, for real, dude. Soul Flare is gangster, and other stuff that happened. If you missed it, me and Crime, we hit the gym. We live streamed from the gym and LP from there. Went for some bench press, right? Crime went for it, dude. Here he is, like pressing 225, like it's easy money.
Bro,
Dude,
I failed my PR miserably.
hey, dude, at least you didn't have to go to the ER, right? And to be fair, I failed mine as well. I went for 300 pounds. Um,
It was really, really close though, to
yeah,
be
I got it.
fair.
I got it at least halfway up, and yeah, 225. That's kind of warm up for me and Crime. So, yeah, we could press 225, but it was a lot of fun. I mean, that stream, I was like, I didn't know how it was going to go. Like, this is either going to be amazing or it's going to suck, and I think it was. I felt it was like amazing. Big shout out, props, and thank you, Crime, to your girlfriend for being the
Of
camera
course.
person. Yeah, that was awesome, dude. We had a lot of fun doing that. So I wish we could do it all the time, bro. I'm just now getting over being sore from that session. Like that was really good.
Yeah, I was messed up for quite a while, and then like 3 days ago was when the sickness started. So I was like, I couldn't lift my arms, and I was getting destroyed. So I was like, all right,
You
but
probably can't even get the vest off, man. You're just like, I'm just gonna die. I'm gonna be buried in this.
but anyways, Ace, do you want to I know we introduced you, but do you want to give yourself kind of a introduction to
Yeah,
what you're building and the island DAO and kind of what you're looking to do in the next year or two or what your goals are?
Yeah, sure. First, let me say, you guys benching and LP and at the same time is kind of goated. Um, but yeah, right now there are several things that I'm building. And I'm also a contributor of islanddao, which is happening from the 3rd of June to the 28th of June in Kasamui, Thailand. And I'll just give you all a quick rundown on islanddao. And then after that, I'll talk about Solana Caribbean, which is something that I'm like really passionate about as well. But basically, islanddao is a month-long co-working space where builders from all over the ecosystem come together and spend a month uh, working together on their separate projects or working together on a similar problem that they're trying to solve. It's a great place for people who want to connect with, um, you know, let's say devs that have been in this space for quite a long time. Island DAO itself was originally Dean's List, which is a group of guys from Greece that started, just coming together, helping each other, kind of like what the LP Army does for their community, but like was more focused on people that wanted to build things or people that were trying to learn to trade and so on. And this is their fourth. This year will be their fourth Island DAO. And last year I went to my first one and it changed my life. I got to meet so many cool builders. And it really, for me, was like one of those events that changed my trajectory in terms of who I know and who now knows me. So it's definitely one of those events that I always am curious to see where we're going this year or in the future. And yeah, Island Out is definitely one of those events that everybody should try to get out to. I know this year we're going to be in Thailand, and I know you guys have a lot of people over there in Thailand. Um, but they also do like a hackathon during the month long just to kind of help the builders that are already building in the Coliseum. And last year, just to kind of give you all an example, last year there was a team from Super Team Brazil called Cloak. They finished third in the Hackathon Coliseum last year. They came to Islandau and really learned from the builders that were in the space. Another notable mention would be Samui Wallet, which won the Public Good Award. That was a build out by one of my favorite people in the space, B-Man. And just to kind of give you all an example of the type of builders that are at these events. So, islandao is it's like something that I hold dear to my heart. So, everybody should definitely try to get out there this year if possible.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I'm really passionate about building is Solana Caribbean, which, funny enough, came out of islandao last year at Mykonos. And Solana Caribbean is meant to be my region's version of a super team. Even though we don't have the approval yet from super team, it's something that we're working on. But that is basically what we're trying to do. We're trying to like help activate builders, investors, enjoyers, and bring them all into Solana in the region. But yeah, those are the two things that I'm building, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. So 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, I'll still be working on Solana Caribbean and working with islandao.
Let's freaking go, man. Let's freaking go. So, like whenever I first heard Island DAO, I assumed that it was like, just like the Caribbean and whatnot. But, I guess it's for, anywhere in the world, right? So, that's super cool. Is there anything specific that you do with Island DAO?
So right now I'm working on just trying to market the event, help people find their way to the application.
Gotcha.
If they would like to go, just trying to spread the word of what islandao is about and why I value it so much, why I think people should go.
Awesome.
And I think that speaks volumes to me. That I'm not even like, I wouldn't consider myself a core team member, but I consider myself a citizen of islandao.
Gotcha.
Because the vision of what they want to do, speaks true to me. So
Yeah.
I'm just one of those people that just love the community and want to help bring more people towards it.
Right. So, the Caribbean, for people who aren't familiar, I mean, you've got the map right there behind you showing a lot of the Caribbean Sea, and it encompasses a lot of like countries and portions, just, if it touches the sea, even Puerto Rico, touches that, even though that's part of the United States, it's all part of the Caribbean. And I love the Caribbean, man. I mean, it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful weather. You are from Trinidad and Tobago?
That's correct. Trinidad and Tobago.
Tobago.
Yeah. It's a twin island state. It's at the bottom of this map here. I don't know if you guys could see, but like this whole thing is the Caribbean. We have Cuba, Dominican, Jamaica over here somewhere. And as you go down the Caribbean islands, my country is all the way at the bottom. We're 7 miles off the coast of Venezuela. But we speak English, So
yeah. Well, and that is something that's interesting, because I've been to several places in the Caribbean, like in the Mexican Yucatan Peninsula. I've been to like Cozumel and Progreso and like this little fishing village, Mahual. I don't know if I said that right, but the island of Roatan in Honduras, beautiful place. Belize, I love Belize, man. I mean, there's just so much beauty there. But like, there's multiple languages even in Honduras. Belize, English primary language. Jamaica, I'm on. I've been to Jamaica. Love the food. The traffic is insane. Grand Cayman, crazy place. And Grand Cayman is really, really wonderful. And one of the cool things about it is like they've got like zero taxes there of any kind, and
a lot of financial institutions there.
Yeah, big banking industry. I love that. And so one thing I'll ask you, Ace. already know the answer, but how familiar are you with LPing, liquidity providing?
So, okay, I'm just gonna give you all some context, right? So, at Breakpoint in 2025, Crimes and I were at Saga Dow House, and we met and we started talking about LPing because it's actually something that I'm quite curious about, and like the thought process of being able to trade, like, or to chart, let's say technical analysis on a chart, but use that concept to also, provide liquidity and earn fees on those trades, even if it's going down, which is what Crimes was teaching me in Breakpoint, and it's something that I'm quite curious about actually. So yes, I'm aware of LP Army, and it's something that I've been following ever since you guys started doing the videos. I know Crime used to do and still does a 1 soul to 100 soul challenge on LPing, and that's something that I've been following quite well. So yeah, I'm aware of you guys a lot.
Yeah. Well, we want to bring that in, and like, because I think there's a lot of like really great opportunity here.
Yeah.
Particularly like for what's it like for people who are living in the Caribbean. Like,
'Cause
go ahead.
I was just gonna say,
Uh-oh.
Did he?
Oh man.
oh, oh
Oh,
shit.
Crime died.
I thought-
Are you cut out there, brother?
I've been
What were you
I've
saying?
been I've been DMing I've been DMing Ace a little bit ago. Because we're talking about, I was like, hey man, if you start sharing kind of like this LP stuff, might be able to, create more of a community out in that area for you guys. But Ace was just talking about, I think it was going straight into your question. He's like, yeah, because it's really helpful because people out here, the dollar, stretches so far, is what Ace was saying. But as you can see, he knows the concept. I think what I literally talked Ace's ear off for like maybe 2 or 3 hours. He was the only one I really talked 4 hours. He was the only one I talked to at this freaking party. But I was just explaining how it's so powerful if a chart, goes down and gets a decent little bounce, you can get out for profit. And I think that's what stuck with Ace. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No. Well, I can tell you one place that the dollar does not go very far in the Caribbean, and that is Grand Cayman. Ask me how I know.
No,
How do
yeah.
you know?
Dude, you'll go broke trying to eat in Grand Cayman. Like, you go get a burger for a couple people and you just spent $90. It's crazy. Anyway, Ace.
But yeah, if I could just answer or just add to what Crimes was mentioning there. Yeah, outside of, so there are some tax havens, some countries in the Caribbean that do quite well off of like global finance, like Cayman Islands and BVI. You have like Turks and Caicos, and also the U.S. Virgin Islands as well, and also Puerto Rico, that a lot of Americans would tend to maybe look into. But that's the interesting thing about the Caribbean. A lot of the DeFi world actually banks in the Caribbean, but when you look at the widest spectrum of presence, there is no presence. There's hardly any presence of these same companies in the region, which something that inspired me as well to start Solana Caribbean, and just to kind of add, like, the LPing element is something that I consider to be very valuable for people in our region, because in outside of those islands that I just mentioned, in for instance Trinidad and Tobago, $1 is six of our dollars. So every dollar that you can LP, or every dollar you LP a day, is 6 times the amount that you would earn in Trinidad and Tobago. So to me, I really do see the value in bringing LP Army to the region. I think it's something that could help people earn passive income, make some money on the side, I remember when we were at Solana AI conference on Wednesday. You told me you were LPing for 5 minutes and made like $5. And like in Trinidad and Tobago, that $5, that's a meal. Like that's somebody's meal, or that could be a transport for somebody to get home. So it's valuable for us to learn these types of techniques and be parts of these types of communities, so that people can actually like not only learn, but like grow their
Yeah.
financial inclusion and literacy around the industry. So I think it's awesome. It's something that I really, Crimes had. Crimes, I'll give Crimes had credit. He was like, that was one of the things he was telling me, like, just do it, man. Just like create an LP army in Trinidad. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that you guys have taken an interest here, and I also think um, you guys have a big presence in Asia already, where it's a similar type of financial environment. So I'd love to see that kind of culture come into the Caribbean region as well.
Yeah. Well, bro, I mean, so there's it's like with anything, like how we do this is like we just get started, right? I would absolutely love to see Meteora Caribbean, community. I want to see that regional unit grow. So like, let's rock it. Let's start collecting some people, from there who are, involved in learning, and like we start spreading the word, and we start making this grow. I think we need to do that because, like you said, there's a lot of stuff on the other side of the planet, but not so much here. And there's real opportunity here to change people's lives, like for the better. Because, like you said, I mean, we celebrate every win, right? Profit is profit. $5 to me is less valuable than it is for somebody in maybe one of these other countries, but they could do that. Crime was going to say something, but
I wasn't gonna. I was just gonna say. I remember Ace was like, "Yo, you should come down and like teach in person." I was like, "Bro, give me like maybe like a year and I'll make it down there." I would love to though, but
I would love to too, dude.
that'd be so sick. But
I'm I'm down for going to the Caribbean, but
Yeah, you
Ace,
guys should definitely come. I would say this on the record. Last week at Solana Accelerate, like the whole week, I've been inviting as many people that want to come down for Carnival. So, which is starts next year, from September, from next year, February, sorry. So, we could probably plan from now to do some like LPN pre-carnival, have fun for carnival, and then
nice.
continue. So yeah, definitely open invitation for the two of you all to come down and get a little tan and drink some I don't know,
some rum.
I don't want to say, but let's say adult drinks. Let's just say like that.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Do you guys
Uh,
have rum down there? Is it
Oh yeah,
sugar cane?
yeah.
Yeah,
Pirates of the
okay.
Caribbean was built around a real thing, and that's called rum, baby. We got that down here.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. There was a big rum trade, especially a long time ago. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, I really want to see this happen, and so and if you are out there and maybe you're in around the Caribbean, and you want to like be involved, you let's hit up Kuzo, or I just call him Ace, right? But there's his Twitter, but hit him up, and let's get this started. I think that would be a really cool thing to rock out. So yeah. And Crime, man, I can't believe you're still here, dude. You're like,
And if I could just
Yeah.
add to that, like in my vision for Solana Caribbean, the Caribbean is strategically placed in like a sweet spot, as I like to say. I don't know where Heavy Metal, I don't know where you are, but I'm sure that like you could jump on maybe 2 flights and be in Trinidad, in
Yeah.
maybe 2 flights, 3 flights. But the
Depends.
point is that the Caribbean is located in the middle between South America and North America. So from a geographical perspective, it's actually easier to get to than getting to Thailand. So yeah, if anybody wants to come to the Caribbean, come to Trinidad and Tobago, any other Caribbean island, and you build on Solana, or you're part of the LP Army, hit me up. Solana Caribbean has a lot of members all over. We have members in Barbados, we have members in Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, St. Lucia,
Yeah.
just to name a few islands, so
Nice.
definitely get us up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in Texas, so it is not that far for me.
We actually have
Although,
a direct flight from Trinidad. I don't know if you're in, we have a direct flight from Houston to Trinidad, actually. So,
okay, yeah. Well, I'm closer to Dallas, and Houston is like a 5-hour drive for me, which is, I mean, it's a long way, right? It is, but it isn't. Like, and whenever I went to Grand Cayman, and we had to fly through Miami. But like the perspective here, I drive 5 hours and not leave Texas. Go from Dallas to Houston. It's like a 5-hour drive.
that's crazy.
Whenever I went to Grand Cayman, which is the largest of the Cayman Islands, if you start at the like upper corner of the island and you drive the road that goes all the way around the border of the island and you make it all the way around that loop, if there's traffic, it's a 57-minute drive. That's taking the longest route possible. You do the whole country.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but
I mean, Texas is still like for Trinidad is like way bigger than Cayman Islands, and
yeah,
drive around the entire country will take you about 4.5 hours.
yeah,
So yeah, like Texas is huge. America is big.
yeah,
But
yeah, for real.
imagine like being on a beach and being able to LP with like a rum and coke, or like
I'm in.
so for me it's just like it's a destination spot, that why not come here and cook as well. But there's so much of the Caribbean that is still trying to discover this beautiful thing called Solana and crypto blockchain in general. I really see a value in setting up and starting to develop communities in the Caribbean, because, like you said, this is something that can help people with their everyday life. Being able to learn how to like provide liquidity and earn enough of fees up and down the chart, no matter what.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's definitely something that I think will be beneficial here. And then also, if I could just really touch on, just to kind of recap on islanddao, for me, islanddao has this concept also of being a network state community. So for me, it's like having you guys be part of islanddao now, even though you're from the States. It's just kind of broadening the network and the community. So I'm really excited about that as well. So just to kind of tie everything together.
yeah, for sure. Absolutely, man. I forgot what I was gonna say, but like you were saying, there's a lot of opportunity here, and we want to get after it. And crime is like literally dying. So drop a W in the chat if you want him to live.
Yeah, guys, I might have to head out here. I might have to go get some like Advil and go back to bed.
Yeah, man.
I'm
Crime,
sorry, Ace.
It's okay, bro. I
dude.
appreciate you coming on.
Nah, bro, I
right,
appreciate
man.
you coming on. We'll stay in contact for sure. HMC, we'll finish it off with you. But yeah, bro, just we'll chat obviously, and we'll have you back on at some point. If you want to hop on my stream sometime, just let me know. We can coordinate it. But yeah, I'll be here for you.
Crom, thank you for being here, man. I'm sorry you're sick, and thanks for joining. And please get better, take care of yourself, man. And we'll see you soon, okay?
Of course, of course. I'll see you, fellas.
Yeah, take care, bro.
Peace.
Man, what a tripper, dude! Like, dude's hardcore.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have done it, you know. I would have sent you a message saying, guys, I can't talk, like, dude, because he stayed, you know. And he came like in character too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, dude. Well, I mean, that's how he is, right? I was chatting with him, and he felt bad, and I'm like, you ain't got to do nothing, right? But he wanted to come and say hi, and and chat with you a bit, because I mean, he's a pro, he's good, and y'all have been friends, and now we are friends, right? And I'm just so freaking bullish on that. So Miami, bro, Miami was amazing. At Accelerate, there was something really cool that happened. Partnership with Sunrise, and Meteora, they tokenized an actual DeLorean, a first tokenized vehicle. I mean, this is like from Back to the Future, all set up. There's the flux capacitor in there, going. I mean, this thing is so legit. They got a little hoverboard going on there. This was just like so cool. And they did something interesting with this. Is like, if you wanted the merch, you had to buy that token. Like Geek Lad, he showed up and he paid for it, right? I think he sold later, but he was actually doing that. And the concept of tokenizing things, to me, it's just like really cool getting to do that. But that thing was just so based, and I wish I could like hop in that thing, go back in time, buy Sol at $8, and then move to like when it's 280. But
$8, I would have gone back to when Sol was under $1, and just like,
yeah, that's fair. I wish I could go back to time when I remember my best friend, he told me about Bitcoin, right? And he's everything's like brand new, and it was like 50 cents, and he's telling me, and I'm like, bro, that sounds like bullshit, fake internet money, whatever. And I was like, what's the value of this? And then he, and he was like, I was like, what's it backed by? And he was like, the same thing the dollar is, nothing. It's valuable because we say it is, right? Because people want it. And I kicked myself that I didn't buy it, right?
Well, I would say that if anything, Bitcoin has more value than the dollar because it's backed by hash, hash power,
Right. But and to me, I mean, and Bitcoin was great because it started something, but like it's also like the Fabergé egg, I mean, it's still holding all this value, because it's OG, right? But it doesn't do anything, it's just there, right? It's holding value versus, and then you come like Ethereum comes along and, with the smart contracts and doing all that. And, then I really started getting into stuff. And then, you've got Sol come on, and that solved a lot of problems, like gas fees for one. But yeah, Time Machine, wish I could actually use that thing.
In the Caribbean, because like crypto has gone through a lot of different let's say different points in the Caribbean. Right now people are trying to figure out what is what, and I like to tell people Bitcoin is where you save your wealth and Solana is where you create wealth.
Yeah.
like that's just like the easiest way for me to kind of encapsulate like my two strongest convictions in blockchain right now. So I was just thinking about that as well. Like, how far back in time would I want to go? Would I want to get Bitcoin? I would, but I would also, I would want to get, I would want to be there in 2017, 2018 when, Thule was now, pitching what was Loom before. I think it was called Loom or Luna or something like that. It was called Loom, I think. And then they changed it to Solana.
Yeah.
So I wish I would be part of that. That I want to be part of that, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
really. But
Yeah.
we're still early. It's still good. It's still a good time to dollar cost average in and be
Absolutely.
not financial advice, but I'm bullish. Hey Cloud King, what's up, brother? Good to see you,
Dude,
man.
it just got lit, man. Cloud King showed up.
Oh yeah.
Met him at Sagadao house. Go in the chat on the stream with us today. What's going on? Yeah, so we had let's see. I had some things that we wanted to also cover today. Y'all know what that means. It is time for the big crime of the week. Here we go. And you know what I meant to do earlier was I put a whole background music, and I forgot to kick it off, dude. That I wrote these songs just for you, actually. So I had an interesting chat. I got reached out to by somebody, like they're saying they were running a big podcast, and they talk about Bitcoin, but all things in crypto. And they were like, "Hey, you want to come on, talk about, Meteora, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Sure. Let's do it." And then you send me messages like, when you want to do it, where is it hosted? Can you show me some information on this, that, and the other? And then it's coming up on time, and I'm like, he sends me this invite from a personal email, and I'm like, can I get something that's maybe from an official account, right? And that's where things started to go sideways. He was like, "Oh, I don't have access to that account right now, but you can see the link I sent you. I'm waiting." And so I did some research, dug around, and I hopped in this podcast official Discord, and then asked the dude. I'm like, "Yo, did you invite me on?" And he was like, "Nah, bro, sorry." Yeah. So this is the thing that happens is people will invite you onto their stream. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but they invite you onto a stream, and they get you to click a link, and either that's got something bad embedded in it, or that thing's not working. They're like, "Oh, you need to download and install this," and then the next thing you know, your wallets are empty. So that's the big crime. You guys always be safe, always verify what's going on. Be sure, and it even happens sometimes, like we saw with Drift, that all looked like super legit, and it turned out to be a really coordinated attack. So the scams come from everywhere, and y'all watch out for that. But that was disappointing for sure.
No, you had me worried for a second there because somebody also invited me on to do an interview tomorrow. So I was just trying to see if it was the same person, just to make sure, just to back out. But I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, you really have to be careful. People trying to drain you, and you have to really do your own due diligence when clicking links and so on.
Yeah, for real. You definitely got to be careful out there. And yeah, and so verify, verify, verify. Be certain, and if somebody wants you to download something, like to me, that's a hard no, right? I'm not doing it. So, let's see what else we got going on here. Let me just turn this on. Okay. So the other thing I was going to share with you guys today, in celebration of Mother's Day, and to all the beautiful mamas out there, thank you for joining us today on the stream with the Island Man Ace. Crime, unfortunately, is sick and he had to bail, but made some custom P&L cards, ran a little bit, made some money.
You had way too much fun with that with those P&L cards, my friend.
yeah, all for the promo of the show, but that's for you mamas out there. We salute all of you, and we love you. So yeah, you're right, Hector in the chat again. Crime does never sleep. Let's see. Oh, here's a question from Crypto Jones. He's always in the chat with us. For you, Ace, are you a new pair kind of guy, or would you like to trade /LP?
I prefer, to be honest, I prefer like trading LPs as opposed to new pairs. Like I know the new pairs, it's it could go either way. You could also like make money on the way down when it rugs as well. But I just prefer I like those ranges. I like farming some LP on the range, like with Solana and Hyperliquid on Solana, like that pair, like where it was ranging. Like to me, those are like I feel more comfortable degening into those types of charts as opposed to risking it for the biscuit on new pairs. What about you?
Yeah, that's a good question. What does Crypto Jones do?
I like that. Any more questions? Feel free to ask right now. We have like, I don't know, a couple more minutes before I have to go and kiss my mom on the head and spend a little bit more time with her. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions. I would say also, I show Speed is in the Caribbean. He's been in the Caribbean for the last like 2 weeks, I believe, and he's been really showcasing the culture and warmth and demographic of the Caribbean. So if anybody wants to kind of understand like what type of people are there, or like what we like to eat, or go check out iShow Speed. He's been visiting all the Caribbean islands. I believe today he's in Bahamas. And I actually so back when I used to play rugby, at the national level. We used to always make fun of Bahamas because it was so close to Miami. That we used to be like, they're not even, they're really a part of America. They're not a part of the Caribbean. So, yeah, it's all love though.
Yeah, that was something I forgot. I was going to bring up that you were an athlete.
Yeah.
For a while.
I played rugby for Trinidad and Tobago for like just about 15 years. All of my 20s, I spent being an athlete, playing rugby and doing that type of thing, following my dream. That was my goal when I was a kid growing up, to travel the world and play rugby for Trinidad and Tobago, and I accomplished my goals. So yeah, that transition now into like Web3 is something that came at a time for me, because I was quite bored when I retired and didn't know what I was going to do with my life, because I had already reached my life goal and didn't know what I wanted to do. And Web3 kind of pushed that curiosity, pushed that competitor in me, that I needed to understand this technology, and then just going down the rabbit hole.
You got to make new life goals, man. You know that's for real. Do you still work out? I know you had to have lifted when you were a rugby player.
Yeah,
you still work out?
I have been. I'll be honest. I've been. The only thing I've been working out is the old, you know, hand to mouth kind of vibe. You know, I I was an athlete since I was like when I was like 5 years old. I first played football and tennis, and I was like, I want to be a sports athlete. I don't care what sport it is. So from 5 to 30 years old, I had been, going hard, skipping
Yeah,
parties and lines, and just being an athlete. So when I retired at 31, I kind of like didn't see the point. It was like, why am I going to bust my balls in the gym? And I'm not going to like, there's no competition for me. So yeah, I've been
got you.
slacking off, for the last couple of years.
Well, I noticed you still you still got that Accelerate wristband on. Yeah, like it's stuck on you, man. Like they make those things you can't get them off.
I,
Dude,
I,
I spent.
I like to leave it on for as long as I can because I'm just like so sad that it's no longer there. But I've actually started collecting these. So I have my
Nice.
Bitcoin, and I'm gonna take these off eventually and add them to my little collection.
Bro,
Um,
those things are tough, man. I mean, I spent probably half an hour in my hotel room trying to get that thing off because I didn't have anything to cut it with. You can't just break it.
the trick is when they put it on, always make sure they like leave some wiggle room. That's what I do, just in
Yeah, they
case.
rugged me. They were like tight.
Nah, I want to be able to take this thing off. You never know, a buddy might want to go in. You know, might want to help a buddy out. Get inside. But yeah, I just wanted to
Yeah,
keep it stuck so I could like slip it off and put it in my little stash with all my
yeah,
Solana event merch.
right. Yeah. So, we have a vlog coming out from me and Crime's trip. That'll be coming out soon, and we onboarded so many people while we were there. Like bangers. We had the Fluffy and Tyrant. We met a guy from like a Jupe Academy. He did doing the Spanish translation. Bunch of people that we were actually onboarding. So watch out for those videos. Some of them are already out there on the LP Army X. I saw so many cool things there. But let me ask you, Ace, what were some of the highlights of Accelerate for you?
That's a great question. My highlights would be honestly reconnect with my like friends. When I left Accelerate on Thursday to come back home, I put out a post saying that last week had been super therapeutic for me, like just being around, my base community, my friends, people I consider family. So for me, one of my highlights was connecting with all of my friends. I guess another highlight for me, I got a picture with Vibu. He was pretty cool. Like it's so funny because he has this like it's his face tends to say sometimes like don't come near me, but like he's actually really cool and like chill. So getting a picture with Vibu is pretty cool. And then connecting with you guys, I think that was one of my main directives. I wanted to like really connect with you and the LP Army crew. Um,
Let's go.
yeah, just like I don't know. I know that sounds kind of weird or like maybe that's corny, but to me, like
Nah.
my highlight was just connecting with my friends again more than anything else. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, for me, I had specific goals going there. Like learning about some stuff, but really, like to me, the biggest thing is like making those connections, right? And I go in with an open mind, and I don't know necessarily who I'm going to meet. I mean, there's people that I know that I'm going to meet there, like Quicks from Soulflare, right? Oh, dude, he's my bro, man. I mean, I get to see him, and of course, hanging out with Crime and some of those people that I already know. But the other for me, one of the biggest highlights is making these new connections, right? Like, got to meet you, and I mean, I probably have not expressed enough how bullish I am about the concept of Meteora Caribbean. I cannot tell you just like how much I want that to happen. I want to see that. You know, bullish. Solana Caribbean. I want to see this. I want to see this on this side of the world. You know, just to me, getting to make these new connections. You know, like I got to meet Cloud King and Kev and a whole bunch of these guys from Saga DAO and other projects. You know, just cool things are going on. To me, it was like we can spread the word about the LP Army. We can bring new people in, and you know, and make great new friends, right? All over the world. I've got friends all over the world now, thanks to Solana, thanks to Meteora, thanks to the LP Army. To me, this is like the gold, right, of Accelerate.
Yeah.
Here's an opinion. Oh, did you have something you want to add to that?
No, I was just reading through some of the questions. Jones, if you want to see like my greatest athletic achievement, if you go look at my profile, my banner, you'll see in 2014 I helped Trinidad and Tobago win a bronze medal at the Caribbean and Central American Games, which is like right under the Pan Am Games. So there's CSC Games, Pan Am Games, Olympics. So it's down there, but it's still like you know, something that could qualify you for Olympics. So that was one of my greatest achievements. I saw he was asking about trophies, but yeah, I'm not a little Rasta. I'm not a Rasta guy holding it up. You can kind of see. I used to have dreadlocks and stuff as well. You know, like real island boy vibes.
Yeah. So this is you. This is you on the end, yeah.
Yeah, that's me right there.
Yeah, island boy. Yeah.
Like, you know, Rasta and stuff. I only cut my dreads last year. You know, to the disappointment of my girlfriend. She was like, God, you know, you still look good with your hair. I don't know how I feel about this new look. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, dude. Very, very, very cool, man. So he had this. What do you think the next Accelerate should do better? What do you think they should do better at the next one?
That's a great question. I personally felt like one day wasn't enough. It was quite overwhelming, like, you know, having to like go to every booth, because it was like one day, like 12 hours of, that was a lot. So I wish that they would keep the format that they had last year, which was like, last year was 3 days, 1 day for builders and then 2 days for everybody else. I would prefer at least 48 hours of the actual event.
Yeah.
That would be the only thing that I wish that they would do better, and maybe keep it in Miami, because Miami was fire.
Miami was fire. I think they actually, because they split it up this year, because they had an event in Hong Kong and then an event in Miami. And I think one of the issues about having the event in the United States is there are some people around the world, like they may struggle with getting a visa to come to the U.S. Like for me, as a U.S. passport holder, I can go almost anywhere, no problems, right? But it's a little bit trickier. Yeah, he'll let you in right there. It can be trickier for some people to come, but I do wish that it had been longer. The day before they had Consumer Day. That was a smaller event, but it made a lot of connections there. That was really, really great. And then they had that at that same small venue, the AI Day for those builders. And I think that's really important too, is to spend some time, because AI is here, right? And it's growing and it's building, and we got so many builders out there. That's cool, but what else? Do you have anything else you would have liked to have seen?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Consumer Day was pretty cool. Also, the Monkey DAO had a a demo day on the Monday before Accelerate, and that was good. And then the Wednesday, having the AI conference at the Miami Labs was also pretty good. But yeah, like the actual event itself, like Accelerate itself, like yeah, I would still like prefer to have like 2 dedicated days. That way you can spend the first day maybe hitting the West Coast, because you know how they do the theme. There's like every region in the state. So there was like East Coast, there was West Coast, and then Central USA as well. So like it would be nice if like okay, I could spend one day like talking to all the teams that have booths in the West Coast, and then maybe the next day talk to the other group. So
Yeah.
for me, I always like to have more time at these events. Another thing, what else could they have done better? Um, to be honest, in talking to people that went to consensus, that came up to Accelerate, they actually found that Solana Accelerate had like more vibes, more like it was more personable. There was food, good food. Like Accelerate always has great food, and drinks as well. So I can't really ask for anything other than more time, more more
Yeah.
days. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, no, it was absolutely great. And for those who don't know, there was a separate event called Consensus, which it was not Solana specific. It was run by CoinDesk, and it was happening at the same convention center, and that was running for 3 days. But I'll tell you, the thing that I think was the most unhinged about Consensus is the official closing party was at a literal strip club. Like, what? I mean,
Yeah, I saw some crazy videos. I'm so glad I didn't go.
yeah, I did get an invite to the opening party for Consensus, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. I'll go show up, and it was at this hotel. It was absolutely packed. They had actual mermaids in the pool, like swimming around. Swim up and was like, "What's up?" That was kind of wild. I didn't hang too much because it was not really my vibe. I ended up heading over to the Sakadao house, but like the overall theme that I heard was that Accelerate Solana, was the place to be. So.
Yeah.
All right, we'll probably get close to wrapping up here, but it's been a question. Crypto Jones, he's always got a lot of questions and comments.
Questions.
Any projects that really surprised you or got you excited about?
Yes, there was one project that had me like absolutely in like cartwheels flipping. I couldn't believe it. I was so excited. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Raposa before, but so Raposa is officially the a sponsor. They're gonna be on the shirts and in Miami Heat. So they're working with Miami Heat and Seattle Mariners, which is a baseball team. So to me, that was one of the most exciting announcements for the entire Accelerate. Like now, a Solana, a project that started as a Solana NFT that turned into an actual coffee brand is now going to be providing coffee for A-listers. Anybody that goes like to the booth at these stadiums are going to have direct access to Raposa. So to me, that is like my pause raising. Like that is exactly the type of announcement that like gets my juices flowing.
That's
and
cool.
gets me off my feet. So that was pretty exciting. And then my honorable mention would be that MoonPay recently acquired DFlow. So those two things would be like the two things that got me really excited the most over the event.
Yeah, Raposa Coffee, and like that's the coffee at the Soulfire booth. Good stuff there. Jito had a booth with Raposa Coffee, so And I know like Meteora ecosystem has done some event and Soulflare, events there with Reposa Coffee, and that like you can pay for your coffee with crypto. Like that's huge, like adoption. Um, that's really cool, man. Really, for me, what I got excited about. Be honest with you, it was more about for me making the various connections with people and telling them about the LP Army. I did meet with some people with Alchemy. They got some cool stuff going on. With RPC. Wish I had talked to Sunrise more. Insanely bullish about Super Team USA and Super Team Black. I got to meet Amy Street. She's a CMO with Super Team USA. She's huge name in the space. Like tons of followers, very busy woman, right? Very dynamic, incredible person. And I really thought that like she's not going to give Lilus the time of day, right? Because a lot of their focus is about founders. They're out there funding like new projects, helping them get off the ground and that kind of thing. But she was actually like super cool, talk to us, super bullish, with Met LP Army. She's not unfamiliar. So that was really cool, getting to meet and chill with super teams. And there was a lot of super teams there at the event, but it was Super Team USA, Super Team Black. They were absolutely killing it. And Cast, they had a great booth. You did the Yeehaw contest. That was absolutely up my alley. Doing Yeehaw, but didn't really get to talk to them much about like what you could do with Cast, but that was just like bullish for me. But yeah. All right, man. Well, Ace, dude, it's been great having you on. Want to keep this going. Want to grow the Caribbean. Want to grow the Army. Let's do this. Do you have any final thoughts before we wrap it? Are we good?
No, I mean, I think I really enjoyed. Thank you guys for having me on. I would love to do this more often. This was actually quite fun.
Yeah.
I do think what you guys are doing is important for the space. And for everybody out there listening in, like, I would recommend staying close to these types of communities, the communities that are active. Maybe they may not be doing airdrops and that kind of wild stuff that people like, but I think it's important even in the builders market, because I don't consider this to be the bear market. This is a builders market that we're in. I think it's important to pay attention to who's building what and like how consistent they are. And you guys have been pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Content and trying to help people learn how to like provide LP, because LP is just a fancy word for market making, and that's kind of like what everybody's always talking about, getting wrecked and how they get wrecked. Well, the market makers are the ones that setting the charts and so you figure that out now. With you're going to be in a good position in the future. So
yeah, we're still getting paid, and you said something that I want to repeat. Like you said, we're not in a bull market; we're in a builder's market. So I love that. They're asking if you stream. I don't think you do, but maybe you should start.
I did before, like last year. I did I created a pump fund stream, and but that was kind of to do with like some uncertainty around the government, and the government in Trinidad and Tobago wanting to ban all crypto and digital assets, anything in the sphere. But luckily, we got some people to help us amend that law, so now we have more clarity, and people can operate in space on a personal level. But I am thinking about starting a stream again. So
do
yeah,
it.
thanks for that.
Yeah, let's see some stuff about LPing. I'm down. So guys, we're going to wrap it up today. If you are not following Kuzo, if you're not following Ace, give him a
Just call me
follow out
Kuzo,
there.
it doesn't matter, it's fine.
Yeah, Kuzo1 Ace Kuzo. Give him a follow. And of course, check out the islanddao and Solana Caribbean. Give them a follow. And if you are in and around the Caribbean and you're interested, reach out, connect. Let's build the army. Let's build this regional. Let's do this LFG. And again, shout out all the hot mamas, beautiful mamas that have joined us today. Thank you so much for all you do, whether you're here with us or moved on. Thank you, mamas, for joining us. It's always a pleasure having y'all around. So thank you. We're going to end the stream today, and we'll see you around. Thank you again, Ace, for being on, brother.
Pleasure's mine.
Yep. Just a second. I like this music.
Did you actually like write that song? That's cool.
Yeah, it's actually like 4 songs. I can send them to you. All right, man. Yeah, it's 4 songs mashed together. All just like I made it just for you, brother.
Yeah,
It's all good.
Be dope.
All right, man. See you guys. Take care.